What's the better investment in the UK housing market today? Houses versus flats. So my advice is this: if you're looking for an investment property, my advice is to always go with houses. And now I'm going to tell you why. So the way I see things, which is a matter of opinion in this country, which is quite controversial and you might disagree, is the way the UK is based is it's based around the main hub areas, where everyone goes to work and everyone can get paid the most amount of money. For example, you've got London, you've got Birmingham, you've got Manchester, you've got Liverpool, etc, etc, etc. In these areas, there is a shortage of housing due to the fact that there's been quite a lot of immigration over the last 20 years into this country. It's common knowledge that the government's got a certain protocol in terms of how many properties they need to build per head in this country to make it sustainable. And the biggest issue we've got in this country as well is it's the UK. There's only a certain amount of land you can build on because the country is so small. So the reason why I'm getting to the house and the flat divide is this: if you own a house in this country, you are sitting on an absolute gold mine for generations to come. And I'm going to tell you for why. Going back to the main hub areas and where people go to work and where I was speaking about before, there is only so many properties that you can build within a surface area like the UK. So when the government turns around and says we need to hit a certain protocol and build a certain amount of houses per head, they turn around and say to property developers, right, we're going to open up the reins, we're going to open up the planning restrictions, you can build, build, build. Mr. Property Developer turns around and says, well, how can I make the most money out of this? He says, well, I can either build that way and build 5, 10 houses on this plot of land, or I can build that way and reach the sky, because obviously the land there, you don't need land to build flats, do you? So he ends up building 300 flats as opposed to 10, 15 houses. So he sells them on the government-backed Help to Buy, for example. There's then an oversaturation of houses. And obviously the way any market works is on supply versus demand. So mark my words here, this is what I think is going to happen over the next 5 or 10 years. There's going to be a split between houses and flats in this country. If you own a flat in this country, there's going to be a lot of flats. So if you want to sell your flat or rent your flat, there's going to be a lot of competition that you're weighing up against. If you look at anywhere in London, which is, we're based East London / Essex in Romford. If you look at the East London, you go into Canning Town, these sort of areas, they're building flats every which way we look, because the government has a sustainable profile that they need to fit, and the amount of houses they have to build to fill their protocol and tick that box. So there's going to be an oversaturation, an over-competition, an oversupply potentially of flats in this country, and again around the main hub areas, being London, Birmingham, wherever immigration goes to and people go to earn money. If you own a house in this area, you're living on a gold mine, because they're not building that many of them at the moment, especially around the main hub areas. So whether to buy a flat or a house at the moment, a house, 100%, it's going to be a much better investment for generations and future generations for you. If you're interested in buying an investment property, give us a call on 01708 909 100 or visit our website